because initially the speed dropped. So all this happens simultaneously and the necessary adjustment takes place, and finally the engine is in a position to go up. Suppose it is the other way, it is going down, then what will happen? Because of the slope, first thing is vehicle will start going down very fast compared to what it was doing here. First thing is it will go down fast, so that the masses will now try to move more away from each other, so that this lever will go up, and finally because of the upward movement of the lever, the fuel supply will be reduced. And when the fuel supply is reduced, the necessary adjustment takes place, because partly by fuel and partly by slope, the vehicle can easily go down. So this is how the adjustment takes place by a governor, centrifugal Porter type governor, whose construction is like this. So we will draw this figure and then you can describe in brief how it works. In the description you can say that when the energy required is more due to the climbing action, the speed drops. When the speed drops, the masses come close because of reduction in centrifugal force, and when the masses come close, the lever is moving in a particular direction, which is resulting into increase in the supply, and because of that engine gets what it wants, like that, and vice versa when it goes down. So draw this sketch for the Porter governor. After that we will see Powell governor. In fact, Powell governor is very easy to explain. I will just explain here itself. In the case of Powell governor, what happens is masses are not at the joint, masses are at a height. So you can draw this sketch first, and once you draw this sketch, I will modify this figure to make it a Powell governor. So just draw this sketch just now. Okay, so now you can see, now this is a Powell governor. Last time here Porter governor was drawn. The figure is modified and now it is showing Powell governor. You will observe that almost all the things are same, only there is slight difference. This link which was there, which was up to here last time, and then the mass was here, masses were here. Now the same link is extended up to here, and then the masses are attached at some different place, slightly at a different distance. Now there is some technical advantage in this as far as its theory behind this is concerned, which is proved by some derivations, mathematical derivation, which is not in our scope. But finally what happens is, because the masses are in this kind of position, the centrifugal force that is created is of a larger size, larger centrifugal force. So you require, maybe with a lesser mass you can achieve the same centrifugal force. So you can, maybe I'll write here, for the Powell governor what happens is, you can say larger centrifugal force, so less mass is required. So even with less mass you can work, because for less mass you will get the less mass, you can still get the same amount of centrifugal force, because the tendency is to provide more force than earlier case because of the change in the length and some kind of a theory which is there behind it. So that is the Powell governor, everything else is same. Okay, so maybe you can say it is economical, because with lesser mass is lesser cost. So with a lesser cost you can still get the same say usage or benefits. Okay, that is the Powell governor. Again you jot down this, write down this or other figure you draw, and then we will go to the next, that is the Hartnell governor. Okay, so now we'll see Hartnell governor. This governor now we'll see. I'll write here. So again, let us draw a sketch. So there is a and then Okay, so now you can see this Hartnell governor, which is of a spring operated type. Okay, you can see the construction is like this. It is some kind of a cover is there. Inside the cover there is a spring which is fitted across a cover and one bearing over here. You can write down this as a bearing, sliding bearing it is. So between the bearing and the cover there is a spring fitted, and then to the bearing some kind of a mass arrangement is there with a hinge point over here. So this is one piece with a hinge here. Maybe that one piece you can show by this kind of a symbol, meaning this is one part. So it is there on the other side also, there is no space, so I have not drawn, but then it is symmetric, of course, incomplete drawing. Now what happens, again the same thing, as it rotates, because of the centrifugal force, the mass is at particular position and this spring is pressed by this bearing upwards like this, and everything is stable. Now as soon as there is a change in the requirement, like suppose there is a slope going upwards, then there is a change in the requirement, so you require more fuel. The first thing what will happen is the speed will drop down. The moment speed drops down, this will be coming closer, and when this comes closer, the spring is there which will expand and push this down. And once that happens, the movement of this is that I have not drawn here. The lever etc. is present here. Okay, I will draw here lever. Okay, just we are representing lever. The exact arrangement is not shown, but the lever is there which will take the movement towards the fuel supply device, and it will increase the fuel. Now what is spring doing here is, spring is doing the work of gravity. What was gravity doing? that is done by spring here. So in last case, this movement was carried out because of the masses. There was one heavy weight there. So that heavy weight was trying to come down, and the weight, when it was coming down, that was causing the mass to come close. And when masses wanted to go away, that time they were going away and the mass was lifted in the earlier case. Here, when the masses will go away, the spring will compress, and when the masses cannot go away, they want to come close, that time the spring will come down. So the gravity is replaced by spring. What is the advantage of this? What is the use of this? See, gravity operated, these two, they will work only in vertical position because gravity is acting down. But suppose the shaft, this shaft is such, in certain machine, suppose this shaft is such that you are going to put it in the horizontal position. So when the shaft is in the horizontal position, you will not be able to make use of the gravity. That means suppose you use this in the horizontal position, gravity will not help us. So in that case, such kind of Hartnell governor can be used because it is adjusting the mass, it is adjusting the bearing because of the change in position of the mass by way of spring force. So spring force is doing the work of adjustment and not gravity. Therefore, spring operated governor looks like this. It can be used in the horizontal position of the shaft. Rest everything is principally same as any governor. Okay, so that was a you can say spring operated governor we have seen. So we have learned three types of governors, and before that we saw what is a governor all about as a unit, as a device, as a equipment, what it does. It does a work of, it does a function of adjusting the fuel energy as per the need of the load for a prime mover like engine. Okay, so jot this down, draw this figure, then we will take up the next topic. Okay, so last time we have seen governor. Now let us see the other machine element, flywheel. What does it do? So let's see flywheel. Function of a flywheel. Flywheel is, you can say, working like a energy reservoir. It is a don't write this as a definition, just to explain to you how it is, what it is. So you can think of this like a storage tank. So what does a storage tank do? It stores some, say, let us say liquid, and when you want, you take the liquid from that tank. When the tank is empty, you again supply that tank with some liquid from outside. So it's a device which is getting some liquid, and it is giving you some liquid like that. So something similar this flywheel is doing. Now why it has to do all this? Just see one example before we come to the actual way it is used. Suppose we are talking about a punch. And there is a die. Maybe I'll draw in a different way. So you can say that is a die and it is a punch. I will show you a punch. Now how does this punch and die work? This punch is, see, our objective is to cut one hole here. So there is a plate here. Suppose you try to show this plate in the other view, the top view, then this could be the plate, and somewhere here we are going to make this hole. So our objective is to cut one hole like this here. So we put this plate here and the punch will go down and it will touch to this plate, then it will pierce the plate, it will cut the plate, and then a disc like piece will come out and one hole is created here. There is a punching action. You can think of this similar to what paper punch you are using. When you are filing a paper, you are using a punch and you are cutting one hole on the paper. So you can think of something similar as a paper and the punch is pressing one hole there. But then we are thinking about not a paper, we are thinking about a case where there is a metallic plate and then there is a punch which is going to cut it. And now see what happens. There is some source of energy. So from somewhere energy source is there. That energy source is providing energy to the punch. So this energy is given to the punch, so that punch is now going to go down, come up. So how is the action of the punch? The action of the punch is to go down, come up, go down, come up. When it goes down, one hole is cut, then this plate is moved forward. Then again it comes, cuts again, goes up, plate moves forward, next hole is cut, goes up, plate moves forward, and so on. So it goes on cutting one hole after another at this place. So when it comes down, this much place, this much part will be removed as it comes down. Now see the requirement of the load. Why the energy is given? Energy is given for doing some work here. What work punch is doing? Punch is going, let us say it is right now it is here. And when it comes down completely, say let's say it is here. So you can say this much is the displacement. Displacement moment of the punch is from this end to this end. Okay. So when punch goes down and when it goes up, when it goes down, this cutting action takes place. Now this energy is given for what? The energy is given for what? It is given only for cutting or for what? Energy is given, whatever energy is given, because of that energy it goes down, and the moment it touches to the plate, now it starts cutting the plate. At this point, when it reaches here, the cutting action is over. And now the plate is going further, the punch is going further down, so that this part which is cut, that will be removed from here, from the die. So that's why the punch is traveling up to here. So this much is the movement of the punch. Now out of this total movement, displacement, which is the time when there is maximum requirement of the load that is coming on the punch will be maximum when the cutting action starts. That means when the punch touches here, the cutting action begins and the load on the punch increases. And that increased load continues till the cutting action is over. Once the cutting action is over, then the punch is going down, but there is no resistance because now the cutting is over. It has just to go down, maybe some friction somewhere. But it has to just come down, release this disc out, and then it goes up. So if you see the total cycle, it starts from here, goes down and comes up. This is one cycle. So out of this total displacement of one cycle, only during this much part, when the cutting action takes place, only during that time the load required is more. The rest of the time from here, and while going back, there is not much load except the friction. Okay, that means here the load requirement is not constant. Okay, it is changing, it is very high here, otherwise it is very less. Now what this supply is doing? The energy supply, that means whichever is the device which is here, that device is doing what? It is supplying constant energy. It is not adjusting just like governor. It is giving constant energy all the time, but the requirement is different. At this point it is more, rest of the time it is less. Now what happens to the energy which is given? Now in this case, somewhere in between here, while the energy is delivered here, somewhere in the system, there is a flywheel. And what does this flywheel do? The flywheel is storing the energy when it is not required much. During this much time, when it is not required, the energy is stored in the flywheel. Stored in the flywheel means what? Basically, flywheel is just like disc. If I draw a flywheel, it will look just like a disc, nothing more than this. So this is a flywheel. Flywheel is a disc. So what does the disc do? The speed of the disc increases because energy is not required. So whatever energy is given here, it is used for increasing the speed of the flywheel. Now when punch touches here, that time requirement is more. and so much more that whatever is supplied is not sufficient, because it is supplying something like average. It is supplying something like average. Here it is more, requirement is more, here it is less. It is supplying the average of all this. So when it touches, actually the supply energy is less, it requires more, so the excess has to come from somewhere. So the energy that was stored in the flywheel, that is added. So whatever is stored in this reservoir, storage tank, it is added to the supply. So you get the extra energy and the cutting action takes place. Once the cutting action is over, first of all, when the cutting action takes place, the flywheel speed will come down because it has supplied the energy. Now when the cutting action is over, now the requirement is very less, still it is getting the energy, so again the excess energy is stored in the flywheel, means its speed increases. That means the speed of the flywheel keeps on increasing, decreasing. And when that happens, the necessary adjustment takes place. So while during this time, there is a supply of energy through the flywheel as well as through this. So the speed is down. Now during this time, when the punch is going down without much use of energy, that time the requirement is less, supply is constant, so the excess energy goes to the flywheel and its speed increases. So flywheel speed increases, it decreases, it increases, it increases, it increases, and again it decreases. Increase, then decrease. Again increase, again decrease. That means during the cutting action the speed decreases, during the rest of the time it increases. So slight fluctuation in speed keeps on happening. And you will see that this happens, the change in speed, more speed, less speed, more speed, less speed happens for every cycle. So what is a cycle? Starts from here, goes down and comes up, one cycle is over. So during one cycle, there is a change in the speed, there is a fluctuation in speed. So the fluctuation in speed takes place during every cycle. Each cycle there is a change in speed, and why it changes? Because the requirement is different. So the excess is stored, and when it is required, it is given. So that is how the flywheel works. Okay, there is a lot of theory behind it, a lot of calculations, and some terms are there.